I just can't stand the mumble rap. I'm sorry. I just like, I like listening to artists that have substance, like, in their music. Like, that's why I like Kendrick Lamar, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you
definitely.
listen to his music and he's got, like, a message. He's got, like, substance. My name is Tyler, and you are watching Glo'd.
Well, here I am, right back where I was yesterday, the day before, and the day before that.
Music for me has been, like, lifelong. When I was younger, I was just listening to the music that my mom would play in the car, and she played a lot of like alternative rock kind of stuff. You know, I remember listening to KRZQ when actually, you know, radio was still big. There was no streaming or anything like that. So a lot of alternative stuff like Everclear, stuff like Blink-182, Sum 41, a lot of stuff in that genre. And as I started getting older, I kept listening to that, but that's really when I discovered hip-hop, was when I was in high school. I heard Electric Relaxation by a Tribe Called Quest, and from there I just like went down the rabbit hole, and that's really when I really got into hip-hop and started finding more producers, and one producer would lead to another, one group would lead to another, and I started collecting all these CDs, and those were probably my early influences for music. Favorite producer, hands down, is Jay Dilla. Rest in peace. He was really the one who made me want to make music. When I heard his music, it just like really resonated with me. And so he's got, you know, a ton of music out there. Highly influential producer. Also another producer that really influences me is Madlib. He's also been around for a while. A lot of the guys that kind of were around in like the 90s were the guys who really got me into making music. I guess I'd say my style is boom bap, lo-fi. I do a lot of sampling, so the sample-based production is what I want to keep alive. Like, it's an art form that I want to keep alive, so just a lot of like vinyl texture, a lot of samples. That's what a lot of the guys were doing back, you know, in the old school, and even a lot of songs nowadays still do it, but it's kind of an art form that's not really being recognized or on the forefront anymore, and that's the style that really got me into music, so that's, I would say, my style. I mean, I definitely had some music that I worked on before, but that was my first music that I showed to people. This project is going to be different from the last project. One, just, you know, me personally stepping my game up. I think just the quality of the production and the quality of the music just stepping up, and also trying to make it more of a complete project, like where everything kind of ties into each other. So just trying to step it up like another level from the last one. I honestly get inspiration from a lot of things. I get inspiration from people like you, who are working on their craft and mastering their craft. I get inspiration from reading. I get inspiration from nature. But of course I get inspiration from music. I still like am a hip hop head, so I'm listening to hip hop every day no matter what. I don't think that will ever stop. And then, you know, all my vinyl, all my records, I like listening to like old jazz, old soul. Just real music that you can just really feel, that you can feel it when you're listening to it. So, and I'm open to the different music. I like listening to all kinds, so I'll really get inspiration from anything. Personally, I mean, I'm not, like, hip hop is very near and dear to my heart, so the way it started off in its truest, like, rawest, purest, like, form, I feel like it's just been, like, tainted over the years. Not to say that there isn't good artists nowadays, but it's almost like it's not so much about the music anymore. Like, hip-hop used to be like, we don't care what anyone thinks, we're doing us, like, this is us, we represent hip-hop. And now it's like everyone's like trying to fit into the same box, trying to have the same flow, like the same everything. And hip-hop used to be like original. Like, if you were sounding like someone else, they would label you as like, this guy's like a biter. But now it's like, seems like a lot of people are kind of trying to fit into that same box. And not to say that there isn't good artists out there nowadays, because there still is a lot of artists that I like, but that's kind of my movement, is I want to get hip-hop back to its center. I mean, that's just my personal take on it. You know, eventually in the future I would like to work with rappers. The problem is I want to work with someone who's like the right fit for me. Someone who kind of has that same background or same appreciation for the music and the same kind of style of music. I would like to definitely work with some rappers. Also, getting to live performances is something I want to do to keep getting myself out there, as well as just continuing to make more music. And also trying to get out of Reno and get to somewhere different where there's a little bit more opportunity and more of like a scene for music, but just really just keeping my head down and trying to just keep better, like, every day.
I like that. Yeah, that's the same for me. Try to get out of Reno.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's like when you know like you're doing something right, when you can get out.
Yeah.
And like be okay where you're at.
Right,
You know
and
what I
be
mean?
comfortable, not be struggling. The record label that I've like really want to get signed to is based out of like LA.
Really? That's dope, man. What is
So-
the record with?
It's called Stone's Throw Records.
Okay.
They're kind of like an indie label,
Oh.
but there's a lot of good acts on there, and I remember like last summer I wrote like a 5-year plan like in my phone, like, okay, this is where I want to be and all that. And although like just moving there, I won't automatically be signed to them. It's just like that's a part of
That's
it
a
though,
step.
so it's like a step in the right direction. So go check out my first project called Sketches on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Instinx_music. Be expecting new music within the next few months from me. Definitely keep you guys updated.